Now, Republicans are inching closer to getting their tax and spending cut bill through Congress, with the marathon of vote underway in the Senate. At some 940 pages, the legislation is a collection of tax breaks, spending cuts, and other Republican priorities, including money for national defense and deportations. Democrats are united against the legislation and have offered scores of amendments to alter it. Senators can offer an unlimited number of amendments, with each receiving a vote. Once the bill clears the Senate, it should have to pass the House before Trump can sign it into law. Trump wants to have the package on his desk by the time Independence Day festivities begin on Friday. With little sign of the pace picking up ahead of a final floor vote that could be delayed until well into the early hours of Tuesday. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called for Republican resolve.
To stay tough and unified during the home stretch, and we are counting on them to get the job done.
Non-partisan studies have concluded that the bill would ultimately pave the way for a historic redistribution of wealth from the poorest of 10% of Americans to the richest, and cuts to Medicaid program, which helps low-income Americans get coverage in a country with notoriously expensive medical insurance. Independent analysis shows cuts to the Affordable Care Act would result in nearly 12 million more uninsured people by 2034. Polls show the bill is among the most unpopular ever considered across multiple demographic, age, and income groups. Former Trump aide, Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who had an acrimonious public falling out with the president earlier last month over the bill, continued with his sharp criticisms and renewed his calls for a new political party as voting got underway. Through a post on X, he threatened that he will launch the America Party if and when the bill, which he termed insane, passes. He went on to say that the country needs an alternative to the Democratic Republican Uniparty so that the people can actually have a voice. Sharing a graphic representation of national debt under Democrats and under Republicans, he said that just pretend to be two parties, but it's a uniparty in reality. Our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Listen to this.
The Senate is currently locked in a marathon of amendment votes over President Trump's one big, beautiful bill. Key objections from Republican senators like Rand Paul and Thom Tillis, who cite concerns over Medicaid cuts and the growing deficit, have put the final passage into doubt. The bill would also extend Trump-era tax cuts that are set to expire in 2026, which means that if it doesn't pass, between 62 to 68% of Americans would face tax increases starting that year. But even if the Senate goes ahead and passes this bill, any changes would force it back in the House, where the Freedom Caucus have already threatened to withdraw their support. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.